So boys, it is Jead and EA have messed up winter wildcards completely with the pack weight, the new left back Evo that came the other day, but it's good news. We should all be buzzing because it leaves us with loads of opportunities like this Cruyff, the Pina. There's loads of opportunities on the game right now, right? I'm going to jump into it pretty quickly because in a few days when it gets towards Christmas and afterwards, a lot of these opportunities will be gone. They're very time sensitive. We've got to be jumping on this stuff now, including this Thunderstruck Bellingham, which I will jump into later on in the video. And another thing that is huge, boys, is that only 18% of you guys are still subscribed who actually watch these videos, which is mental. If we could all subscribe, let me know more importantly down in the comments what kind of videos do you boys want to see with the market watches, the fodder grinds, all that good stuff, and hopefully I can get better and better videos across to you boys, helping you get better and better teams within FC26 as we head into Team of the Year. But without further ado, boys, let's jump into it. So, of course, a huge part of what we're going to talk about today is this Cruyff, as well as some of the other cards like Winter Wildcards, Pina, and their prices and what it means for the game and investment opportunities. But we've got to start with what came out content-wise because there's a lot of market reactions of what came out, but more importantly, what is coming out on Monday, and what does that mean for me and you? So, content, boys, what does it mean? Well, we got the 2-player SBCs, and we got Dybala, and we got Buongiorno. Does that not just mean hello in Italian? Would that not be like someone... it doesn't matter. But I swear that's like someone being called hello in England. Whatever, right? Dybala, boys, yes, great, okay? Go and complete him if you like Dybala. It's fine. There's better cards. Simple as, there's better cards. This should not be something you're overly excited about. He's cheap and he's very highly upvoted. But 3-star weak foot, the fact he's missing pinged and ticky, he's got no low driven, he has no quick step. Like, there's a lot of things missing with this card. And I don't want to be a bummer. I just think there's better cards in the game than this, right? That's, again, nothing against it. I think you should go and do this SBC. Comment down below. Did you go and complete Dybala? Very hyped card. I just don't think you should be overly excited about it. It'll be gone in your team within a couple of weeks, right? It's fine. This Evo's going to be better than this very, very soon. But again, it's fine. Buongiorno is just definitely a skip for me. It's 4 squads. I believe they're very cheap, with the first one being 84 and 85, and with fodder being pretty much free right now. I do understand it. But boys, to be honest, I've seen so many of your boys in the free Discord, like the centre-back Evos that you guys keep showing me, that are better than this. Jockey Plus is amazing, and he has every defensive playstyle. I get it. If you're a Napoli fan, you're Italian, you know, your name's Buongiorno. I can see there's reasons for you to do this SBC. But I think there's better cards, especially with what's coming when we get into the leaks later with Winter Wildcards Team 3. So I think possibly, if you want to save your fodder best as possible, they're both avoids, but doing Dybala is a little bit of fun. Now, the other SBC we got was the 87 base or Thunderstruck icon upgrade. Gamble SBCs are not great. I've said for a while that the Thunderstruck icons are very, very good, and it makes this one here very tempting. But boys, if you do a gamble SBC and you don't get much from it, you get a crap card, like it's a gamble SBC. There's not much I can tell you about that, right? With the fodder grind right now, if you are a pack addict, you are a gambler, right? You're an absolute machine. Go and do this. It's an absolutely fine icon SBC. A lot of the Thunderstruck cards, like Maradona, Bale, there's some amazing ones, right? My point being is it's a gamble, okay? So I think I'd still do Dybala over the icon SBC, but again, I know some of you boys are addicts, that's fine. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, boys, is quickly what's expiring, because you might want to go and complete it. And this Koundé expires today at content time, boys. The worst SBC this year. Is this the worst SBC ever? Like, actually ever, with how much it cost? Maybe. Maybe it's the worst SBC ever. But if you want to go and complete the worst SBC ever, he does expire today, which is quite funny. But more importantly, when it comes to what expires tomorrow, is upgrades. And that's more important because we get upgrades today on Monday, or normally we do. So you would think we get upgrades today. And if you boys have not been aware, crafting and the crafting upgrades and grinding the game for fodder right now is unbelievable. The fact we could get some more upgrades tonight on Monday means that after content today, in between today and Tuesday, so content time, when these 2 SBCs, which are amazing, when they disappear, we should get some more upgrades. That means we have the most upgrades on the game, like at one time, almost ever. Because what I'm saying is, those upgrades don't expire until Tuesday, but we should get new ones today. Which means this and whatever, you know, is replacing it should, in theory, come today. So let's see what we get on Monday. I've not seen the leaks for that, of what it could be. But we could have an unlimited, like, ridiculous grind for that 24 hours between Monday content and Tuesday content. So make sure you're not missing out on that. Make sure you're still doing your Winter Wildcards, crafting upgrades, boys. The main thing you need to take from content is that SBC grinding is still unbelievable. The players were not great. The SBC grind, going and getting unlimited packs with the League SBCs, is still unbelievable. And when we're talking about EA messing up when we get to Cruyff later, we got this ball evolution. It's left back evolution. We got chill and wing back, boys. The worst evolution of the year. Can we all agree this is the single worst evolution we have seen, right? Basically, if you didn't see this one, boys, and you've been under a rock, a lot of these cards, right, like this Jones, look decent. He gets Jockey Plus. He doesn't get many play styles, but look at the stats, right? I get it. If you missed this, boys, do you see the one stat cap on this that's making it an impossible Evo? Matt, 64 attack positioning. It's ridiculous. It's a stupid. I thought it was a mistake at first. EA basically released an 86 left back 86 left back Evo that no 86 rated card fits. Maybe to start a chain, if you're going to go and put like a really low down player into it, like you put this Nagy, he goes to a 74 and it sets him up for some decent stats. But as you can see, boys, not in special. And this is a playstyle game. It gives a few decent playstyles, okay? Fine, I don't mind it, fine, set up a chain. That's how I'd use it, boys. Go and put the lowest rated card that you can find into this, and it gives them a nice boost. But for me, it's pretty much a skip. I'm not liking it for 40,000 coins. I think it's stupid. Hopefully, when we get the next evolutions, they're a little bit better than this chilling wing back. So it's a must avoid on my one, boys. The more important content has been the packs, and it's been the players, and it's been the market. The market is the content right now, which for us who trade, we like to, make coins. That is amazing. We can't ask for anything better than the market being the main piece of content. So quick recap of the content, boys. I would pretty much avoid Buongiorno. I would do Dybala if you really want to. He's fine, nothing special. Again, the Icon SBC, if you want to do a gamble, is a pretty decent gamble. But again, it's a gamble. So if you don't want to get, Prince or Perez or something crap, then obviously avoid it. It's fine. And the Evo, I would pretty much avoid unless you're in a very, very specific circumstance where you support a really low-down team and the left back fits that Evo, right? It's pretty much a definite avoid for me. Don't you worry, boys, because the content we're getting today on Monday, as well as upgrades, could definitely save it from an untradeable SBC objective sort of side of the game. We're getting some really juicy, juicy stuff. Let me jump into what we're getting on Monday, which means this could be an insane day for people who just want to get on the game, grind, and get a few new cards into their team, right? Of course, we have got the two players coming to the game that we've got every single day at the minute. We have got Hall and Guerrero. These are official stats, boys. And look at this Hall card. It looks insane with pinged Hullet gang stats. Of course, playstyles will matter. I'm not too sure on the playstyles. And we've seen because of this Hall, by the way, that some cards already have started to rise because of this, especially some of the cards in re-release, like this Dan Burn. As you can see, he's 70,000 coins. These two are just undercuts there, the 54 and the 60. So he's 70,000 coins. And if you take a look at his price in the past, sort of couple hours or couple days, he loaded out at 48,000 coins. So he's basically up 22,000 coins. He got pack load and re-release. If you remember, by the way, this card was 500k when he was out of packs. Insane. And this whole perfect link is brought him back up to 70,000 coins. And it means we can start to look for these investments for future SBC cards that are coming out on the game, especially if they're part of winter wildcards or re-release and they get packed a bunch, and then we can invest in them when a huge SBC drops like Lewis Hall, right? We also get Guerrero. And now another card I was interested in for this was Neuer, but Neuer is already up a lot because of Jonathan Tah. The Jonathan Tah card is really popular, so Neuer was up a lot for this, but this Guerrero looks decent, right, boys? Ticky, great stats. He has nice passing, nice dribbling. That sort of card normally feels amazing in game. I think these look like they both could be must-complete SBCs. Of course, it'll depend on price, and more importantly, what can we do around these cards to make some coins? Manuel Neuer, like I say, boys, this was a great investment because of Jonathan Tah, and with Guerrero coming out, it's even better. Look at this, 19,000 coins. He's recently gone all the way up to 40,000 coins. There was even a dip at 37 earlier this morning. He's back up at 40,000 coins. Is it a buy at this price? Probably not, but if we can get a little drop on him throughout the day, who knows? Maybe. It depends how good priced the Guerrero SBC is. Not something I'm personally going to invest in right now, though. But forget Guerrero, forget Lewis Hall. You should be most excited because of this Marcus Llorente SBC. When we're talking about EA messing up recently with the prices, another thing they possibly messed up on is giving everyone a free card. Christmas came a little bit early, right? Now, you could argue this is great from EA. Fine, I'm not against that one bit. I'm only joking around, right? But this Llorente card, realistically, should get in all of your teams. I don't see how he doesn't at right back as a free card. Look, maybe he did the Carlos Alberto or the Cafu SBC, but as a free card, boys, with Incisive Plus and how good he was at the start of the game with all the pros using this card, insane, right? I can't believe they're doing this from the gauntlet. Loads of people have been talking about this card for a while now. It's really important that, boys, if you're going to do any gauntlet ever, go and do this Marcus Llorente card. You don't even need to win to get him, I don't think. I think you just need to play the gauntlet games. Ridiculous, right? All it means for us, boys, is just stay away from right backs right now, okay? I'm not saying this Valverde card is on the same level as that Llorente card. This Valverde card's way better, obviously, right? But even so, just to be safe, stay away from some tradable right-backs like this Valverde, who's even in the same league as Llorente. When everyone gets a free card that is of that level of the Llorente, they tend to sell the players in that position to free up some coins for their team. Now, it might not see Valverde drop at all. He might drop 10k. He might even go up with him being out of packs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's very, very risky to hold on to cards in that position when we get such a good card for free. So you've seen, I've got the Bellinghams at the moment, and Llorente can play centre mid, but I don't think Llorente will affect centre mids. I think he will affect right backs because people want a free right back in their team. Bit of a boring position. So right backs, super dangerous. Centre mids, boys, pretty much fine. I would not look to link Invest Llorente. He's too common of a link, Spanish La Liga. But in general, I think it's, nothing too much we can make coins off of, particularly with Llorente. I think Llorente is one that you should just go and do, boys. Sometimes you've got to admit that coins we can avoid for now. Go and just do Llorente, get him in your team. The only card that really would have rose for Llorente was this Oblak, and you can see that he's already up from 64 all the way up to 70,000 coins. Now, he could go up more with Llorente, and he's the only card I'd be interested in. But try and get him below 65,000 coins on bids. Bids are normally great for these impact cards. I just don't like buying right at the top of that price range at 68, 69,000 coins, because a lot of people will have overinvested for that Llorente card and will sell off when he comes out. But I think as more and more people complete him, if they do want a link, this Oblak's a very, very, very good goalkeeper in-game with Far Reach Plus. Absolutely fine. I think he's the only card I would possibly look at. I did have one more thing we could look at for Llorente, and I'm not saying it's the smartest thing in the world, but I think it's always worth checking, right? Llorente is a defender that everyone will get in their team pretty much for free, right? Which means people are going to need to put chem styles on that card, and shadows are basically extinct at 5,000 coins. They might have dropped a little bit. Are they 4.5? Oh, they're 4.5. This is actually quite interesting. Because recently what happened, boys, is that Hunters went extinct again when we got Ronaldinho, Isaac, and everything like that. I can see Shadows possibly going extinct as we get Lewis Hall, Guerrero, and Llorente all in the same day, as possibly some more defensive Evos as well. Now, there's not much profit in the Shadow if it goes to 5,000 coins. But if we see Shadow go to 5k, what do we often see rise when Shadow rises? We see Anchor rise, right? If Shadow goes to 5k, people turn their heads elsewhere and look at Anchors. If you can pick these cards up on bids on mass, boys, at possibly like 600, 650 coins, even fine, I think you could easily look to sell these cards at 1 to 1,500 coins as we get a few more defensive players like Marcus Llorente. Now, this is definitely a lower budget thing. This is for if you're on maybe less than 200 or 300,000 coins. But go and fill your club today before 6 o'clock with anchors. And like I say, below 700 coins should be absolutely fine. And I think you could see them possibly fly as more and more people need a chem style for Marcus Llorente, and a lot of them will choose Anchor for that card. Now, of course, the only other bit of content we should get on Monday is some sort of upgrade SBC, boys. I'm not going to give you any trading tips or investment tips based on that. I think, again, the tip here, boys, is please go and grind the game at the minute. Do your 10 times 82s. Do your provision upgrades. Do your premium mixed league upgrades. Do your dailies, bronze and silvers. If you're not swanning pack grinds, let me know, write it down in the comments why. It makes no sense to me right now. The pack weight on some of these cards, which we're going to get into in just a second, is why it's so good right now. Now, they seem to have fixed the pack weight on Cruyff just a little bit. Now, he doesn't seem as easy to pack. But honestly, boys, the fact that I've seen this card in so many player picks, don't underestimate it. 5-star, 5-star. It's Cruyff with incisive, ticky, low driven. This is still a top tier card. And when he gets an Evo, boys, this card's probably hitting, what, 2 million coins? I want to show you what R9 did last year. You boys remember that 90 rated Winter Wildcards R9? And why this Cruyff, even though he's up 200,000 coins, could still be a good investment in the weeks to come. But if you can go and pack that for free doing the pack grind, why would you avoid that? So when we get upgrade SBCs today, and we possibly get some even better ones than what are out right now, such an easy no-brainer. Pack grind as well as make coins right now. Now, another card that had messed up pack weight, and you can probably get in any one of those upgrades, as I'm sure you'll have seen, boys, is this Winter Wildcards Pina. If we compare price on this card, look how many pages there are of Winter Wildcards Pina, boys. There are like unlimited pages of this card, and this is just one of the versions. This is the worst version, the left wing. She's up like 40,000 coins already as lightning rounds have stopped, and it's Pina, boys. It's still Pina. You can now go get this card for 180,000 coins. She was like 150,000 coins. And obviously, we're going to talk about her and Cruyff in a second and when they are going to be good investments and if they are the best investments. But if you can get them for free in the pack grind, it is so simple. So before we talk Cruyff and Pina, the leaks are going to be huge right now, boys. There's so much opportunity on the game and it's not slowing down, right? We're getting 2 teams within 2 days. I'm sure a lot of you boys know this by now. If you don't know it, we're getting one of the teams teams on Thursday, which is Christmas for most people, and we're getting the second team, or I guess the third team, the day after on Friday, which means these two teams are going to be in packs at the same time for about a week. It is insane the market movements we're going to see, right? This is the Team 2 official stats. I'm not going to harp on anything too long, but what do you notice, boys? Zico. What did we see with Cruyff? A 200,000 coin rise. Why did we see it? Because he was oversupplied as a baby icon, and people realised the value of these cards. Zico will probably be 5-star, 5-star, the same way Cruyff was 5-star, 5-star, and we could see that Zico go from maybe 200, 300,000 coins at the low up to 500,000 coins. He should not be the same price as Cruyff. Don't get me wrong. He's not on the level of Cruyff. He's not the same level of hype of player, but that Zico is very, very interesting, and one of the cards that I'm looking very, very, very hard at to trade when this team drops on Christmas, okay? So we get this team on Thursday, boys. Keep a strong eye on that Zico. We then get this team, which is by far the better team, on the Friday. If you have any packs, if you've got any FP, FIFA points from Christmas, maybe you got some vouchers from your friends or family, save it for Friday. Please, whatever you do not open anything on Thursday, okay? This is the team that comes on Friday. Not only is the team way better with Puskás, Henry, Cafu, Vieira, and one of the best Rashford cards I've ever seen. We have 2 Japstams, 2 Nico Williams. I'm not going to bore you with all the amazing cards that are on screen now. Take a look for yourself. Some of these ridiculous cards, as well as the Evo cards like Lacroix and Ibanez. But what do you notice again? Henry 86, Vieira 86. These guys fit Evos right now in terms of their rating. Now, we might not get an Evo that actually fits them for the next week or 2 weeks, right? But when we get an Evo that fits an 86 rated Henry, or when we get a centre mid Evo, which we've not had in a very long time, it's going to fit this Vieira at some point. These cards could do amazing in price. This is what I was talking about with the R9 Winter Wildcards, boys, right? If you go down here and you go to his daily on last year's graph and go to all, this card came into packs, right? And as you can see, he came down, he got packs applied, he came down to about 4.1, he went up to 4.7, nothing special, and then we got towards March, he started to fall in price, he went to 2.5 million coins, 2.4 million coins, he's still a 90 rated R9, nothing special. And then when he fit an Evo, what happened? This card went from 2.4 to 5.4. 2 million coins profit on the card. And you might remember as well, if we go to EAFC 25 here, we got the exact same thing with a Mia Hamm card, right? This Mia Hamm card did the exact same. She was 89 rated, so I think she got an Evo a little bit earlier. But if we go to the all graph here as well, what you will see is around here in March, we got a 750k. She fit a striker Evo, and she went up like 1.3 million coins per card. Now, obviously, you don't want to hold a card for like months and months at a time. But with these cards being 86 rated and not 89 and 90 rated, they should fit Evos way sooner. Gets me very excited to trade these. We're going to be talking a lot about it on the live streams over on Twitch. When do we buy them to make sure we maximize profit like what we're seeing with Cruyff, boys? But Friday should be a big day. Let's stop beating around the bush, man. Let's talk Cruyff and Pina. I was away all weekend, boys, if you didn't notice. I'm sure a lot of you boys were on the Twitch stream and I was talking to you about it. So I missed the mass panic we seen on Friday when EA clearly messed up the pack weight of a couple of cards. One of them being our friend Claudia. Now, she was overly supplied. It was definitely a mistake. There's no doubt about that, right? This card went down to 150,000 coins on the Saturday, which appears to be the low. And as you can see, she's up like 30 or 40,000 coins a card. But more importantly, what we see with this Cruyff has me so excited for what is to come and trading this card in the future. This card is now 800,000 coins. That is ridiculous. He was literally 550,000 coins about a day ago. That is what? 250,000 coins profit on a card in like a day. It makes no sense, but that is the demand this Cruyff had. Now, he's the only baby icon at the minute that is really worth trading. Of course, we're getting Zico and then Henry and Vieira, so it should split the people looking at these cards between 4 of them, and it won't be as hyped. But boys, these cards were ridiculous. Oversupply. You can still see it on the Cruyff here, by the way. There should, in no world, on an FC game, be like, what? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There should not be this many pages of a Johan Cruyff in December. It's redonkulous, right? Now, what that means is, again, is like I keep saying, we can trade these cards. I'm going to show you the lists that I'm looking at, how we can trade them, when we know to buy, because it's going to be hard to know exactly what to buy for, but I can try and talk to you boys about when do we look to buy these cards, because it's very to do with supply and demand, and it goes along with the re-release cards that we've seen in packs as well. And to be clear, boys, the Winter Wildcards cards are not the only cards we're looking at. We're, of course, looking at the re-release cards as well. So many of these cards, like the Dan Burn that I showed you before have already started to skyrocket. And I've said this before, but a lot of these cards will fit Evos very soon as well. So there's lots to talk about, and there's lots you can be trading, even at a medium budget, because of how cheap some of these cards are. Now, this is just a short list I have made of some of the cards, and I'll talk to you exactly what I bought the Bellingham for and why I bought the Bellingham as well. But these are some of my favourite cards from the re-release, and I've already started to see them boom from the other day. But don't worry, there is still opportunities, right? This Saliba is getting very close to 530,000 coins, and when we were looking at him just last night, he was, even this morning, he was 450. But last night, if you look, he was as low as 440, and you could win them on bids for like 430,000 coins, and he looks to be up 100,000 coins. Now, when will these cards stop rising? Boys, I don't think the rise has finished just yet, because what is the pack supply we get on Monday? Nothing. We get a little bit of weekend league pack supply, but into Tuesday, there is no reason these cards shouldn't generally rise a little bit more. Now, it'll vary by card, but why would they not rise into Tuesday? As we get towards Wednesday and Thursday, people will get scared and panic sell these cards into Christmas and into the new teams coming on Thursday and Friday. But into Tuesday, boys, I would be very, very keen on looking at more of these cards from re-release, as well as just all the cards in general from the where I've lost it now. Boom! Found it. I would look a lot of these cards from re-release. Look at the ones that are more meta. Boys, no one gives two bollocks about a Vig Nola 85 rated card unless she fits the perfect Evo and that's perfect links. Like, it's just boring, right? Look at the more meta cards. Look at the cards that fit Evos for popular teams. Saliba, Militao, Siemens, Due, Yildiz. These are the type of cards, boys. Get them added to a list on Futbin and look for some low fluctuations across Monday to hold into Tuesday and Tuesday evening. These are my favourite cards, but they are by far not the only ones. You can see I've got some 86 rated cards in the middle here to fit Evos, as well as Balde, Adeyemi. I've got some of the UCL cards, because both of these guys are just amazing to trade with, man. This Militao was like 219k yesterday or something ridiculous. He got as low as 230, but on Saturday, he got like, 220,000 coins. Just ridiculous prices. And now he's back up, obviously, at 270,000 coins. He was always going to get to that price. Now, I did say I talked about Bellingham, so let's talk about him. I picked up 3 Bellinghams, average price for about 1,030, right? And as you can see, he's 1-1 now, but he's already been today like 115. I think the highest he's been around here. He got to 115. I'm going to hold this card into Tuesday, looking for about 1.2. Hopefully 1.25 we could see, as he does spike to that very briefly every now and then. But 1.2, I'd be happy with. I'd be making over 100,000 coins per card. And I picked up 3 of them, right? So some amazing profit to only pick up 3 cards. I make like 300k. But it's not the only card. Like I said, you can be trading. There's so many opportunities into Tuesday. What should you do after Tuesday? I think you should be looking to sell and get liquid ready for the big supply coming on Friday. New promo, new packs. People got Christmas FIFA points. I think this is a short-term play, boys, on getting a lot of these cards and selling them into the Tuesday. If you are on a lower budget, by the way, you are not left out at all. And even if you're on a medium or higher budget, this has been insane recently. I talk about chem-style trading so much, but with the re-release cards coming out, some of the gaps we're seeing on some of these cards, for example, Rating Reloads Dumfries with a Shadow seems to sell for about 16,000 coins average when I've been selling him. And obviously, you boys will have seen he's like 11,500, 11,000 coins, 5,000 coin gap. So that's one example of a card, but I'm seeing this on so many of the re-release cards. We'll check a random one on screen now. I want to check this Due card, who, if I'm, getting unlucky, he probably won't even sell, knowing my luck. And he's even a little bit more expensive. This card was like 20,000 coins the other day. But as you can see, you can get Due quite easily for probably 27, 28 on Snipe. And I imagine with a Hunter, it's probably 32, 33. There's a lot of gaps on these cards, basically. Especially if you lazy sell them, by the way. If you lazy sell these cards, and look, it looks like he lazy sells for about 32, 750. There you go. Right there. I don't have the coins to buy it. Would you look at that? Every time we find a deal on a video, 28,000 coins, you can sell that for 32,750, make 2,000 or 3,000 coins. It's not a lot on a one-off card, but boys, you can print coins doing this right now. Low budget is amazing. So many cards have crazy gaps with chem styles, and I guarantee someone will buy that very soon. Really annoying that we couldn't buy it, but you see the logic, right? A lot of these winter wild cards and the re-release cards have massive gaps between their hunters and their shadow, like, variant cards. Don't miss out on the profit there. But if you should be, like, let's say, right, low budget or not, high budget, I can't stress enough how much you boys should be doing the SBC grind. I'm not going to talk about it for long because it's ridiculous. Boys, please, if you're on the game between now and Wednesday, the market's going to rise. It's going to flatline Tuesday, Wednesday as people start to panic sell a little bit. The one thing you can do that is consistent, it is guaranteed output, is grind packs, get a Cruyff, get a Pina, and upgrade your team that way. So make sure you're doing both. Boys, I appreciate all of the support recently from you boys. I can't say thank you enough. Honestly, subscribe if you're new. We're building an amazing community. It's all because of you boys, man. I can't say thank you enough. I'll put the pack grind video on screen right now. So if you don't know what the pack grind is and you want to get some players for your team, you can go and check that out. But boys, like always, until next time, I'll see you all in a bizzle.